Now, another misconception, this one is more, this coming to the end, so this is more profound, is that most of us, all of us, we see ourselves as a human being in this world, right? I am this body here by the name of so and so, studying in USM. And then the world is out there, right? This is what we think. But then, to a holy man, some of these Hindu sages, they say, the ordinary person sees himself as a being in the world. But a holy man sees the world in himself. Very strange, A holy man sees the whole world in himself. Why? Because if you really investigate, when you say there is a world, how do you perceive the world? You perceive the world because of seeing, right? You say you see the world because of hearing. You hear the sounds of the world. You smell the smells of the world. You taste the taste of the world, and you touch the things in the world. So these 5 senses make up the world, the exterior world. If you include the interior world, then the 6 senses, the world of the mind also. So these 6 senses is actually the working of consciousness. Normally we think the eye sees the world. Not really. Because when you go to sleep and you have a dream, when you have a dream at night, you're dreaming, you see another world, right? And you are in that dream, and during that dream, it's as real as now, right? So actually it is the consciousness that makes you see. When the seeing consciousness arises, you see. When the hearing consciousness arises, you hear. If all these 6 consciousness stop, where's the world? So, in other words, this world is in a way of a nature of a dream. That's why when you think about what happened to you 10 years or 20 years ago, or 30 or 40 years ago, it's just like a dream that went by. So, you find that is why in Buddhism, mind is so important. The type of sights that you see, the type of sounds that you hear, the smells, taste, touch, etc., is determined by your mind. For example, now we see each other. It is because of past affinity that we have seen each other in a previous life that we meet again. So you're stirred up by your mind depends on what? Just like a computer. What comes out on the computer depends on the program you put in, right? So in the same way, what comes up in your mind, the kind of world that is conjured up by your mind, depends on your program, which is the karma. So because of your karma, your actions, if you have a good heart, a good mind, so you have been doing good deeds, after you pass away, a beautiful world is conjured up for you. And if you have done a lot of evil deeds, your mind conditions that you see yourself in hell, suffering. So that is why in Buddhism, mind is very, very important. The whole world is conjured up by mind. Now if you were to explain it scientifically, we can also explain it scientifically. For example, you consider your body. You think that you are this body. What is this body made up of? When you think carefully, this body is made up of cells. Millions and millions of cells, right? The dead cells constitute your hair, your nails, your teeth, your outer skin, your bones. These are your dead cells. And then your live cells are your flesh, your blood, etc. Those are, most of it is life cells. So your body is basically consists of millions and millions of cells. Now when you analyze these cells again, what do you have? Every cell consists of molecules and atoms, right? Molecules and atoms. Molecules are also basically atoms. So your whole body is made up of atoms, right? Alright. Because your cells are made up of atoms. So your whole body is made up of atoms. Now you consider an atom, you look into an atom in detail, you find that the atom is no different from the sky. When you look into the sky at night, you find that it is 99.999999% void, empty, right? And here and there you see a star moving, a star. So in the same way, an atom is 99.999999% void. And inside you have particles of energy moving to and fro. And these particles of energy now, scientists say, they're not even solid. You have different theories, you have the wave theory, the quantum theory and all that. So, our body, if you think carefully, is 99.99999% void, emptiness. No different from the air around you. This is the truth. No different from the air around you. That is why in Buddhism we talk about sunyata, emptiness, kong in Chinese. Now only now scientists are beginning to realize that this void inside us is not really void. It is consciousness. Consciousness. That is why nowadays doctors say most of our sickness, if not 100% of our sickness, comes from our mind. If you are happy, you're not liable to get cancer and all that. If you are depressed, you got too much stress, too much pressure and all that, then you develop sickness. So, because we are 99.999% void or consciousness, so whatever we think affects the whole body. So, how is it that even though you are 99.9999% emptiness, you see yourself as a solid human mass? This consciousness inside you is projecting yourself as a human being. So you act like a cow or a bull. So you're very likely, in your next dream, you see yourself as a cow or a bull. You see, gu khe, Hokkien they say gu khe, ngao ching, acting like an animal. So you'll be born as an animal. So when you consider that life is like a dream, so it's not difficult to imagine how a being can see itself as an animal. One moment a human being, another lifetime an animal. So I suppose I should end here, and I invite questions and comments.